1. Spurs guard Manu Ginobili, who scored 12 off the bench, says it was important to have Leonard back and playing well.
Huge. He's our go-to guy, and this year has been very atypical. He hasn't been on the rotation as much. Today, for the first time, he played more than 30 minutes, and he had a great game.
The LA Clippers were a 113-105 winner over Memphis. This is SRN Sports. Other NBA Finals, Phoenix 104, Atlanta 103, Charlotte 131, Sacramento 111. Top 25 play, it was 5th-ranked Xavier 86, Butler 79, as the Musketeers won their 10th in a row. Number 18, Texas Tech tripped up number 10, Kansas 85-73. Florida surprised number 11, Texas A&M 83-66. Number 16, TCU was an 81-78 overtime winner at Baylor. In the NHL League points leader, Tampa Bay blanked Toronto 2-0. Maple Leafs coach Mike Babcock says the Lightning did everything necessary to win the game.
They're a veteran team that knows how to play, and they play well. You know, they can really score, but they can defend as well, and I thought they did that tonight.
Boston beat the New York Islanders 5-1. It was Pittsburgh 5-1 over Philadelphia. San Jose 4, Montreal 1. St. Louis had a shootout over New Jersey 3-2. Minnesota 5, Florida 1. Columbus 2, Dallas 1. The LA Kings 5, Edmonton 0. Vegas 3-0 over Nashville. Anaheim 5, Vancouver 0. Pair of overtime winners, Washington 5, Carolina 4, Colorado 3-2 over Winnipeg. With SRN Sports, I'm Patrick Voss.
WVWB 1400 AM, Clarksville, Tennessee. Big 1400 WVWB. It is 7:03. We're at 17 degrees in downtown Clarksville. Good morning. We'll take an extended look at our weather forecast after this update in national news. WVWB 1400 AM, Clarksville, Tennessee.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. The bitter cold that settled in across much of the country is now blamed for at least a dozen deaths. Blowing and drifting snow, making travel difficult and dangerous in western New York State. In Buffalo, dozens of cars and at least 10 tractor trailers plowed into each other in a string of accidents in recent hours. Motorist Katie Wood stuck in a backup caused by one of those mishaps.
Scary, horrible, just watching those ambulances go by and all the firefighters and the police. I was so scared. I was praying and making sure that everyone was good. So I moved over. I just wanted to make sure that that ambulance could go through and make sure whoever was hurt could get taken care of. I didn't care what happened to me. I could walk out. But those people, I wasn't sure what was going to happen.
She spoke with Buffalo's WKBW-TV. Driving could prove a real challenge today from North Florida into the Carolinas. The National Weather Service predicting a mix of snow and freezing rain. Meteorologist Brian Hurley says there's a word for the kind of storm that's brewing off the southeast coast.
It is actually a meteorological term, bombogenesis, which talks to the degree of strengthening that we're expecting.
And he says eastern reaches of the mid-Atlantic could see some significant snow from tonight into tomorrow. Also at SRNnews.com, North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un says he has a nuclear button on his desk. President Trump says he has one too. Mr. Trump says his is bigger and more powerful than Kim's. The two Koreas, meanwhile, have reactivated a hotline between them. It's been dormant for a couple of years. America's UN Ambassador Nikki Haley says that's all well and good. However,
North Korea can talk with anyone they want, but the U.S. is not going to recognize it or acknowledge it until they agree to ban the nuclear weapons that they have.
And that's something that Kim has given no indication that he's even willing to consider. Dow futures up 45 points, and this is SRN News. A battle over a Christian flag is being renewed in Alabama.
2 years ago, a demand letter from the Freedom From Religion Foundation convinced the town of Glencoe to remove the flag from a pole in front of City Hall. Now the flag is making a comeback on a pole owned by a church, but the atheists still have a complaint. The foundation says it's concerned that because the new pole is near City Hall, people might think that the Christian banner is being flown by the city. Michael Harrington, SRN News.
Open Doors USA says it will focus on rebuilding Christian communities in Iraq and Syria this year. The ministry, which serves persecuted believers around the world, says the Christian presence in these regions is strategic to the furtherance of the gospel and the advancement of the kingdom. The spread of ISIS over the past several years brought war to both countries and drove many Christians from their homes. This is SRN News. A cabinet official says immigration legislation may include citizenship for DACA recipients.
Immigration legislation that includes a pathway to citizenship for young people currently covered by Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, otherwise known as DACA, could be on the table for the Trump administration. U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen tells the Associated Press the pathway legislation would be considered by President Donald Trump if passed by Congress. That would be a reversal for Trump, who said in September that he wouldn't consider citizenship for DACA recipients. The DACA program was started under President Barack Obama, and Trump said last year he would end it. Mike Grassi, Washington.
A Boston police detective will be sentenced tomorrow for lying to federal officials so he could take his gun on planes during personal trips and allow a friend to avoid airport security. Detective Bruce Smith facing up to a year of probation under the terms of a plea deal. More details at srnnews.com.
You have big plans. Pregnancy might not be part of them. You owe it to yourself to understand your options and make a decision you'll be confident with. Hope Pregnancy Center offers complimentary pregnancy tests, prenatal ultrasound scans, and options information in a non-judgmental setting. Call today for your consultation. Our number is 931-645-2273 or find us on the web at hopepregnancy.net.
Good morning. The big 1400 Clarksville area weather. Some clouds should give way to some sunshine. Expect a high today of 32. Cold and frigid tonight. 11 for an overnight low, and that cold front comes through. And for Thursday, we can expect colder temperatures. Sunny skies, though, 23 for an expected high. Friday, that cold front still with us. Expect a high of around 24 degrees. Currently, we're at 17 degrees at 7:08 in downtown Clarksville. With a look at traffic, here's John Michaels.
Good morning. Traffic around the city and the county still fairly light. Remember, Montgomery County schools are opening 2 hours late today. Clarksville, Montgomery County Schools opening 2 hours late. Looks like 41A North, not too bad. It's a little slow way out at the north side. 79 Woodlawn is slow in a couple of spots. 48 and 13, not too bad at the moment. 79 out in St. Bethlehem, slow out by the interstate. Trenton Road, Tylertown Road, and the 101st Parkway all looking good at the moment. 41A out in Sango, busy in a couple of spots. In the MLK 76 connector and Rossview Road, both very good at the moment. Now, if you're headed to Nashville, 24 does look good all the way into the Music City. Let's check in with Commander Chuck and see what's going on with the Nashville area traffic.
Good morning. Still in pretty good shape out here as far as really bad wrecks now. Traffic has picked up in the last few minutes. There is a minor collision at Hickory Hollow Parkway at crossings there south of town. Harding Place at Air Park Center, that's over near the airport. That's a minor collision. Now 24 east at the 37-mile marker. That's either a stalled vehicle or a minor accident. Get a 10% winter discount at nashpainting.com. Just mention this ad. Call 615-85-PAINT. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
That's been a look at your traffic and weather together this morning on the Big 1400 and the latest national news. It is 7:10. This is Wednesday, January the 3rd, 2018. I'm trying to go back to Thanksgiving. Anyway, this is Good Morning Clarksville. Good morning, Chuck Edwards. Look, I've got it in.
I know, it's right there before you, you know. Well,
Big
sometimes,
letters.
I know. But, you know, our eyes play tricks with us.
I don't want to go through the holidays again.
That's okay. That's okay.
Not today.
But you're right. It is January the 3rd,
yes,
2018. It is a Wednesday. Good morning, John Michael. So good to be here. I'm just so glad that as we talk about the weather, we can say it's 17 degrees yesterday. Remember, we were all single digits.
Yeah.
For the entire show. Up until 9 o'clock, it was single digits. And the wind chill felt like it was in the minus takeaway column.
Yeah, tomorrow morning will be that way.
Tomorrow morning is back with us again. But you know what?
What?
Get me through this day.
That's right.
I just want to get through this day.
That's right.
You know, I'll worry about tomorrow when tomorrow gets here.
Because my button's bigger than your button.
Don't go there. Please don't get. We're not going. Hey,
look, I got a red button.
I see you.
See what happens when I see you're not talking. Now you're talking. Now you're not.
It's not going to get started. We're going to have a good time this Wednesday. It is the It is the 3rd day of January.
Okay.
I feel good. You feel good.
I feel good.
I hope you feel good out there. Good morning, Clarksville. 1400 WVWB. It is 7:16, 18 degrees in downtown Clarksville. Expecting a high today of 32. 7:20 this morning. We've got a Sports Night update with Justin Swallows, brought to you by Power and Grace Preparatory Academy. Musically this hour, some Tom Jones, the Vogues, as well as some Dave Clark 5. But first, it's time to do the birthdays. It is time to do the birthdays. Who was born on January 3rd?
I don't know.
Nicola Beharry is 33. She's Abby Mills on Sleepy Hollow. Eli Manning, Peyton's younger brother. He is 37. Kimberly Locke, remember her from American Idol?
Yes, I do.
She's 40. Nicholas Gonzalez, he's Dr. Melendez on The Good Doctor. Have you ever watched that movie, that series, that show, The Good Doctor?
No.
It's pretty good. It's on ABC, I think. But anyway, one day I'll get a chance to watch it. Yep. Mel Gibson.
Oh, he's 92.
62. I loved him in the movie The Patriot. Remember that?
I didn't see
Anyway, they showed that a lot. Jim Ross is 66. Jim Ross is 66.
Jim Ross of the wrestling world.
There we go. I wanted a reaction from you. I knew anytime I mentioned that wrestling.
He is the greatest commentator in the history of wrestling, next to Gordon Soley.
Oh, wonderful.
You don't know who either.
They're right up there with Walter Cronkite, right?
In the wrestling world, they are.
Okay, yeah. But you got to be in the wrestling world to know that.
Yeah.
You got to listen to it.
Yeah.
And watch it.
And Dave Brown and Lance Russell from Memphis.
Oh, really?
Are in third.
Yeah, I would say they had to be in the top 9,000, commentators of the wrestling world. Victoria Principal, remember her from Dallas? 68. Stephen Stills. How do you think Stephen Stills is?
72.
We got to play some Crosby, Stills in there.
He's 72.
No, 73. We got to play some Johnny's
I didn't
Garden.
miss it by far.
Yeah, you're pretty close.
Pretty close.
Bobby Hull, Hall of Fame hockey player, is, remember, Bobby Hull,
yeah,
79. Dabney Coleman. I thought he was dead.
He's 82.
Dabney Coleman, 86.
Oh.
Remember he was in, he was the evil boss in 95.
Yeah.
He was Commodore Louis Kastner on Boardwalk Empire and Mr. Price on Ray Donovan. But yeah, Dabney Coleman.
You thought he was dead.
Yeah, I did. I really did.
Alive.
Yeah. 12 days until we celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Day.
Yes.
30 days until Groundhog Day. 44 days till Black Panther. And 72 days until Tomb Raider. So there you have birthdays for this January the 3rd, 2018.
But
what?
How many days before daylight savings time starts again?
A bunch. Do you know when it starts?
I knew you were going to say that. I'm going to look. I'm going to be efforting to look it up.
Ask Suri. She'll tell you.
She'll probably hang up on me.
Try it anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
The big 1400 WVWB, it is 723, 18 degrees in downtown Clarksville, 32 an expected high. With the big news, I think, yesterday was that Hoda Kotb is going to be the new replacement on the Today Show, replacing Matt Lauer as co-anchor. Hoda Kotb.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, she's going to be. When she heard the news, she says, somebody pinched me. And then they said, Matt Lauer's gone. Matt Lauer's gone. Yeah. So So anyway, but yeah, congratulations to her. So anyway, I'm sorry.
Maybe she can get somebody else to do it.
Like who? Well, you know she can't get Chip because Joanna's pregnant.
I know, but it's not his.
Chime. Don't spread rumors about Chip and Joanna.
It's Chip and Joanna's love, baby. Find out who the father is on the next episode of Flipping Houses, or whatever it is they do.
Anyway, yeah. Back in the day. 497 years ago in 1521, Martin Luther was excommunicated from the Roman Catholic Church. Ever heard of Lutherans? The Reformation, Protestant, a person who protests? Martin Luther, no like he Pope Leo X. He thought Leo was the Antichrist. Anyway, he was excommunicated. 98 years ago in 1920, the Boston Red Sox sold Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees for $125,000, which put a curse on them that lasted over 80 years. $125,000 in 1920. That was a lot of money.
That was like millions today.
Yeah.
Millions.
96 years ago in 1922, the sarcophagus of King Tut was discovered by British Egyptologist Howard Cartier. 66 years ago in 1952, NBC premiered Dragnet, starring Jack Webb.
Just the facts, man.
Yeah, just the facts, man. 59 years ago in 1959, Alaska became the 49th state. And 45 years ago in 1973, the New York Yankees were purchased by George Steinbrenner for $12 million.
That was a bargain back then, too.
The Yankees,
what are they worth
today?
Like
the Yankees are worth
billion?
Over $3.7 billion. That's a good return on your investment.
Yeah.
And 14 years ago, in 2004, Britney Spears married her childhood friend Jason Alexander at the Little White Chapel in Las Vegas. She then sobered up and had it annulled 2 days later. So it didn't last long. Those are some of the things happening back in the day. Time now for a Sports Now update with Justin Swallows on the Big 1400, brought to you by Power and Grace Preparatory Academy.
This Sports Now update is presented by Power and Grace Preparatory Academy. Now enrolling students in pre-K through 3rd grade online at powerandgraceacademy.com.
The University of Tennessee men's basketball squad is now in serious danger of falling out of the top 25 after losing to Auburn 94-84 last night in Knoxville. The 23rd ranked Vols were severely out-rebounded against the now 13-1 Tigers, giving up 22 offensive boards and allowing 28 second-chance points in the loss. The win for Auburn marked Coach Bruce Pearl's first victory in Knoxville since his tenure as UT's head coach from 2005 to 2011. The Vols now get ready for an 8 p.m. Saturday night home bout with number 17 Kentucky. And there's good news today out of Austin Peay State University. For the 6th time in the last 7 weeks, the Governor's basketball squad has a player named among the Ohio Valley Conference's weekly best. Grambling transfer Avery Ugba is the OVC co-player and newcomer of the week after averaging a double-double, 19 points and 11 rebounds in conference opening wins over Southern Illinois Edwardsville and Eastern Illinois. This is the 3rd time this season that Ugba's been lauded by the league office. The Governors will be back at home and looking for their 3rd straight conference win tomorrow night at 6 o'clock against UT Martin. Lastly today, we bring you bad news from the Nashville Predators' Western road trip. The Preds fell 3-0 last night on the ice against the Western Conference leading Las Vegas Knights. They will continue their 3-game road swing tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock against the Arizona Coyotes. From the WVWB Sports Desk, this is Sports Now, and I'm Justin Swallows.
God's Word is full of life lessons we should all hold dear. Your children can learn those amazing lessons daily at Power and Grace Preparatory Academy. They're certified by the Tennessee Department of Education and offer enrichment courses in Spanish, music, and art. Students of Power and Grace Preparatory Academy also participate in STEAM Fridays, a program concentrating on science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Now offering before and after care spanning from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can enroll your child today online at powerandgraceacademy.com or by calling 931-320-9862.
The music's on Facebook, 14JZM.
The big 1400 WVWV, 18 degrees in downtown Clarksville. Expecting a high today of 32 tonight, down to around 11, and then much colder on Thursday and Friday. A high on Thursday of 23 with plenty of sunshine, but not going to warm us up a whole lot. Overnight low Thursday of 9 degrees. Friday up to around 24 degrees for Friday. Right now we're at 18 degrees at 7:33 in downtown Clarksville. Vol Network Notebook coming your way at 7:50 this morning, brought to you by Copies in a Flash on the Big 1400. So you made a New Year's resolution that you want to lose some weight? John has compiled some tips for losing weight. I don't know.
Blame this on me?
Well, you're in charge of the research and development and R&D company, the R&D department.
I am.
Yeah.
Oh.
Somebody made it. They just said, yeah. Who's in charge of that? John.
Volunteer him.
Yeah. Who's in charge of the excavation? John. Who's in charge of pushing the big button? John.
The big red button.
Big red button.
Right.
Yeah.
I love
big red button. Powerful. Okay, so your New Year's resolution was drop some weight in 2018. John says he can help. And he's got some top tips for losing weight.
I can.
If you're a female and you're married, drop your husband. Just like that. 325 pounds gone. Okay.
I don't know about that.
Buy one of those fancy Peloton indoor bikes, which will then make you too broke to afford food. The big C.
That will.
Yeah, ask yourself, do I really want to blend in at Walmart? These are top tips for losing weight. Instead of fries, order a salad. Unless it's alongside a triple Baconator, then forget it. You might as well go down swinging. Get that Baconator. Get them fries. Run a lap around your block every time Donald Trump tweets.
Oh.
Yeah. Skip breakfast and lunch and dinner. I mean, hey, you can't be fat when you're dead. Top tips.
Sorry. I don't know where that came from. I'm looking. What?
Don't do it again. It sounds familiar, doesn't it? What is this? The top tips for losing weight. Do what Oprah did in 1997, and 2003, and 2008, and 2013. Oprah,
she do?
Take photos of Steve Bannon to your refrigerator.
Oh.
You can lose weight that way, yeah. Buy a Fitbit. Get the chocolate one. It's delicious. Yeah. Promise yourself you won't eat any desserts until they start making good Batman movies again. Top tips for losing weight. Don't campaign in Michigan or Wisconsin. Oh, sorry. That's a tip for losing an election. I'm sorry. That was not, yeah.
I think the principal's calling.
Thank you. Thank you.
The principal.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell him we'll get back with it.
I'll have my people call
Yeah,
your
yes,
people.
please. Yeah. We need to take a break. This is the Big 1400. We'll be back right after this.
When you play the new multiplier instant games from the Tennessee Lottery, there's a chance you could win more cash than you expected. In fact, with multiplier games, you could turn $1,000 into $10,000, $5,000 into $250 grand, or you could even turn $10,000 into a whopping $2 million. So pick up a multiplier instant game today, and you could just watch the cash fall into place. Multiplier games, new from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Just remember to play responsibly. America, the home of fun-seeking adventurers.
America, it's fun as it can be.
And they all like draw games.
America, it's a game for you and me.
But wait till they get a load of Lotto America. With tickets just $1, drawings twice a week, and jackpots starting at $2 million. It's Lotto America from the Tennessee Lottery.
Looking for a new golf experience? Tired of playing the same old courses? Try Clarksville's newest golf course, the River Club Golf and Learning Center, located along the Red River. The picturesque River Club offers some of the area's best golf, putting greens, and driving ranges. And while you're there, stop by and have lunch in the clubhouse or enjoy some live music in the evenings. It's open to the public and waiting for you. The River Club Golf and Learning Center, Clarksville's premier golf experience. Call the River Club of Clarksville today for more information. 931-919-30. 4200, the River Club of Clarksville.
Wow, where did 2017 go? Wherever it went, it's behind us now, and we all get a fresh start here in the new year. If you're a business owner, there's no need to start 2018 off with outdated forms or stationery. Give Copies in a Flash a call, and they'll get everything updated in a flash. They're located at 1841 Business Park Drive and ready to help with all your printing needs. Call them at 931-551-3219 or check them out online at copiesinaflash.com. No job is too big or too small for Copies in a Flash, and they're just around the corner from where you are.
Here's a special program note for viewers of WCKV-TV. As you may have heard, WCKV-TV, Clarksville's only broadcast TV station, has moved to Charter Channel 6. They're also looking into opportunities to do more local programming to serve you better, so please stay tuned to WCKV Charter Channel 6 for some changes. WCKV-TV will continue airing on CDE Lightband Channel 12 and over-the-air Channel 21.1. Channel 21 is a free service. WCKV-TV, engaging, inspiring, and uniting all of Montgomery County and beyond. Unique by design. WCKV-TV, Clarksville.
Was your New Year's resolution to lose weight, but you haven't been able to accomplish this? Then come to the Doctor's Diet Program at 231 Dover Road. They're open Tuesdays and Saturdays from 11:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Doctor's supervised weight loss can be achieved by following the simple diet plan. Whether you want to lose 10 pounds or 100 pounds, the Doctor's Diet Program can help. Call them today at 931-906-5555. That's 931-906-5555.
The new year is upon us, and we've made it through the holiday season. Now it's time to stop dreaming of candy canes and sugar plums and think more practically. It's time for a new set of tires, and the place to get them is Hell Yeah Tires at the corner of Greenwood and Crossland Avenue in Clarksville. They have the area's largest selection of new and used tires, and they'll guarantee you the best deal in town. Head on down to Hell Yeah Tires at 702 Greenwood Avenue, or give them a call at 931-552-1403.
Moore's Office Supply is Clarksville's office supply and furniture experts. For office equipment, desks, chairs, and more, depend on Moore's Office Supply. Located on Franklin Street across from the Catholic Church, Moore's has been your business partner for office supplies in the Clarksville-Fort Campbell area for years. Call Moore's at 645-7200. That's 645-7200. And we'll deliver it for free. Moore's Office Supplies, Clarksville's office supply headquarters.
The world-famous 1400 WJZM time capsule. If you've ever been hunting where the Governor Square Mall is, you're gonna love WJZM Clarksville. The big 1400 WJZM.
1400 WVWB, 18 degrees at 746 in downtown Clarksville, expecting a high today of 32. Well, all the talk, John Gruden's reportedly in line to become the next coach of the Oakland Raiders, so people are already talking about who might replace him on Monday Night Football, and one possibility is...
Who?
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning?
Yeah.
Nah.
You don't think so?
Why would he want that headache?
I don't know. I think he still wants to be involved in football in some shape or form. I know he's a successful business person, but his businesses can take care of themselves, and, you know, he could do, you know, seasonal things. He could be, I don't know, I just think...
You know, I would not. Why? With all his money, why would you want that? Just why?
Because he wants to be involved in football in some shape or form.
Just be a GM and have like little toys.
Oh, then his troubles would really go. Now, you know, I mean, he can talk X's and O's, so it'd be interesting. But anyway, you know, of course, they're offering John Gruden everything to go there, to be the
even the kitchen sink.
Close. They're giving him, you know, part ownership and plus a good salary and and he's going to be in Vegas. Chucky in Vegas?
Uh-oh.
Can you
remember? On the loose.
You know what goes in Vegas stays in Vegas. So.
That's what I supposedly heard, but I don't know about that.
So anyway, we'll have to wait and see. Speaking of entrepreneurial endeavors, Mike Tyson.
Oh.
Mike Tyson. Remember him?
Bite out of crime. Oh.
Yeah. Well, let me preface this by saying recreational marijuana became legal in California at midnight on New Year's.
And he's opened up a marijuana shop.
And no. Oh, no, not a marijuana shop. Mike Tyson is already planning to cash in on it. Last month, he broke ground on a 40-acre pot farm in California City. It's about in California City, California. It's about 100 miles north of L.A. He claims it'll revolutionize the industry. Half the land will be used to grow pot. The other half will have a supply store, an extraction facility, a factory for edibles, a pot-growing school, a campground for glamming, a.k.a. luxury camping, and a small amphitheater. So it sounds kind of like that pot farm will also be a mini pot-smoking resort.
Kind of what it sounds like.
You know, yeah, he says he'll grow a high grade of cannabis, including medical marijuana that helps with things like inflammation, but it doesn't get you too high. It's not clear when he plans to open up shop. But anyway.
He might mellow out.
Yeah, you know, because he talked about in his memoir, the book he wrote in 2013, he says he used to smoke pot before boxing matches. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Before boxing matches?
Yeah. Yeah, he would smoke pot. Yeah.
Well, it didn't calm him
But he
down.
said he never did caught. He never got caught anyway.
Well, you know, it didn't mellow him out.
Why?
He was wild as a crazy man when he went out there to box.
Maybe it was what triggered him to be the way he was. You think?
I don't want to go visit that farm then.
He has mellowed out now.
Okay.
Yes. The big 1400.
Help! 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 Help!
1400 WVWV. It is 7:52. We're at 19 degrees downtown Clarksville, expecting a high today of 32. I was reading about this young man, and elderly man.
An
really.
elderly man.
Yeah, he was in his 80s. He died last week in Cleveland, Ohio.
What happened?
And then, I don't know, in his obituary, his cause of death was, quote, a brief illness exacerbated by the hopeless condition of the Cleveland Browns. That's cold. They done killed somebody.
They did.
They done killed somebody by going 0-16.
Murderers.
Yeah,
You are
the
murderers.
Cleveland Browns, you know. I saw where Carson Palmer is retiring.
He is.
After 15 years. Yeah, the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, okay.
So, the 10 best cities for keeping your New Year's resolutions. A new look took 180 cities, ranked them according to how easy it is for people who live there to stick to their resolutions. The best overall city for sticking with any type of resolution is Seattle, Washington.
Oh.
The rest of the top
Shoulda
10.
known.
The rest of the top 10 are San Francisco. Yep, all them hills. Yeah, you can walk off some weight. San Diego, Scottsdale, Arizona, Salt Lake City, San Jose, California, Orlando, FLA,
Whoa, finally one this side.
Irvine, California, Austin, Texas, and Portland, Oregon.
Most everything's to the left.
Yeah, it's crazy. So anyway,
To the left coast.
Yeah.
That's Orlando on this side, right?
For work-related, the best city is South Burlington, Vermont. The best city for relationships, San Francisco. Why did I know that would be the best city for relationships? Because everything goes in
That's
San
right.
Francisco.
Anything goes.
Yes, right. Time now for the Vol Network Notebook, brought to you by Copies in a Flash on the Big 1400.
Tennessee drops its SEC home opener to Auburn. This is the Vol Network Notebook, brought to you by your local Farmers Co-op. Co-op, proudly farming Big Orange Country. Tennessee couldn't hold off Auburn down the stretch as the Tigers won their 11th straight game, knocking off Tennessee 94-84 Tuesday night at Thompson-Boling Arena. Tennessee led by 14 points in the first half, but saw the Tigers come back to lead at halftime by 6. Tennessee fought back to take a 5-point lead in the second half, but the Tigers dominated down the stretch to improve to 13-1 on the season. The Vols gave up a season-high 22 offensive rebounds to the Tigers. Coach Rick Barnes was very disappointed in the performance.
You can look at all the stats. Forget that, because with our team, there's more to it than what the stat shows up. I mean, we can talk about lack of this, lack of that, but it's just disappointing when that team that we saw play here tonight hasn't been any kind of team that we've seen all year. And for us to do something like that at this time of year tells you that we've got work to do. It tells you that we've got, and especially mentally, we've got to take a hard look at our heart and our heads and say, how does that happen?
Tennessee now drops to 9-4 overall, 0-2 in the SEC. The Vols get set to host Kentucky Saturday night. It's a 9 p.m. tip-off at Thompson-Boling Arena. King, Ellis, Catchings, Parker, all legendary performers who provided plenty of memorable moments on the basketball court for Tennessee. There's another group of men and women who give an all-American effort too. The friendly, knowledgeable folks who work at your locally owned Farmers Co-op. With a lineup of quality products and services at their disposal, you can be confident that a visit to Co-op for your farm, home, and outdoor needs will be a slam-dunk experience every time. Co-op, proudly farming Big Orange Country. 7th-ranked Tennessee Lady Vols have their SEC home opener on Thursday night hosting Auburn. Lady Vols 13-0 on the season, won their SEC opener Sunday at Kentucky. Tennessee and Auburn tip off at 7 p.m. Thursday. Reporting for the Vol Network, I'm Bob Kessler.
Wow, where did 2017 go? Wherever it went, it's behind us now, and we all get a fresh start here in the new year. If you're a business owner, there's no need to start 2018 off with outdated forms or stationery. Give Copies in a Flash a call, and they'll get everything updated in a flash. They're located at 1841 Business Park Drive and ready to help with all your printing needs. Call them at 931-551-3219 or check them out online at copiesinaflash.com. No job is too big or too small for Copies in a Flash, and they're just around the corner from where you are.
Big 1400 WVWB. It is 8:01. We're at 19 degrees. We'll take an extended look at our weather forecast after this update in national news.
WVWB 1400 AM, Clarksville, Tennessee.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. Well, it's a feeling a lot of people around the country can probably identify with right about now.
You thought you were cold last year. You thought you were cold last month, but you weren't cold. Now you're cold. It hurts. It hurts the face.
Jeannie Rivera is in Chicago, where it was 11 degrees at last check. It's already frigid in a lot of places, but for some, it'll get even colder, according to the National Weather Service. And there's a powerful storm brewing off the southeast coast.
It is actually a meteorological term, bombogenesis.
What that means is the rapid explosive development of a maritime storm. And that's what's bringing snow and freezing rain as far south as North Florida. Weather Prediction Center meteorologist Brian Hurley.
Maybe a quarter of an inch of ice in southeast Georgia, which would be unheard of and certainly crippling.
Hurley says when the storm later brushes coastal areas of the mid-Atlantic, it will dump as much as a half foot of snow.
Especially east of the Chesapeake Bay, eastern Virginia, Norfolk area, Hampton Roads, but also the Delmarva.
And behind the storm, when it finally leaves New England Friday, the coldest temperatures of the season. I'm Tim McGuire.
Also at SRNnews.com, two arch rivals are talking again, North and South Korea, reopening a hotline between them that's been offline for a couple of years. This just hours after UN Ambassador Nikki Haley again warned North Korea to give up its nuclear program.
The civilized world must remain united and vigilant against the rogue state's development of a nuclear arsenal. We will never accept a nuclear North Korea.
And President Trump says the nuclear button he has on his desk is bigger and more powerful than the one that North Korea's Kim Jong-un claims to have. On Wall Street, stock futures pointing to a higher open. Dow futures up 43 points. S&P futures ahead 3. This is SRN News. Michelle Bachmann might run for Al Franken's Senate seat.
Bachmann recently told televangelist Jim Baker that she has been praying about the decision since Franken announced plans last month to leave the Senate amid sexual misconduct allegations. Franken, a Democrat, officially resigned on Tuesday. Bachmann said, "I've had people contact me and urge me to run for the Senate seat. Am I being called to this now? I don't know." Bachmann's unsuccessful 2012 presidential bid petered out after a sixth-place finish in the early Iowa caucuses. Patrick Foss reporting.
The Federal Emergency Management Agency has revised its policies to allow houses of worship to apply for some federal aid to help deal with damage from hurricanes Harvey and Irma. FEMA announced Tuesday houses of worship no longer would be excluded from eligibility for FEMA aid. 3 Texas churches severely damaged by Hurricane Harvey last year sued FEMA over its policy. This is SRN News. Southwest and American Airlines planning nice employee bonuses thanks to the new Republican tax law.
The tax cuts passed by Congress and signed into law by President Donald Trump are about to pay off for employees at 2 airlines. American and Southwest have announced they'll be sharing the windfall by paying their employees bonuses of $1,000 each. American says it will pay out $130 million in bonuses. And Southwest says it's buying more jets, exercising options on 40 Boeing 737 jets to the tune of roughly $4.5 billion. However, Southwest is also delaying 23 previous orders with Boeing. I'm Mike Rossier.
The mother of a Marshall University football player who was shot at a New Year's party in Maryland says he is paralyzed. News outlets report redshirt freshman defensive tackle Larry Aaron was one of 2 people struck by gunfire at a house party in Severn early Monday morning. More details at srnnews.com.
Guess who's on the cutting edge of up-to-date checking services? Heritage Bank, that's who. You know we're neighborly. You know we're trustworthy. Now know that we have the edge on checking accounts. With Edge Checking, you get benefits like shopping discounts, cell phone protection, and roadside assistance. Now you can be on the cutting edge with a new checking account at Heritage Bank. We're more than a bank. We're your neighbor. Member FDIC, bankwithheritage.com.
The Big 1400 WVWB Clarksville area weather. Well, The clouds should give way to some sunshine. 32 for an expected high today. Clear and frigid tonight. 11 for an overnight low. And Thursday, sunny, but it won't warm us up. We'll have a high Thursday of 23 degrees. Friday, a high of 24. Currently, we're at 19 degrees at 8:07 in downtown Clarksville. We'll look at traffic. Here's John Michaels.
Good morning. Traffic is picking up in the city and the county at the moment. We just have one minor accident. It's on Wilma Rudolph Boulevard out by the interstate, so be on the lookout for that. Traffic heavy on 41A out at Fort Campbell, especially on the north side. Looks like 41A Sango busy in a couple of spots. 48 and 13, if you're coming into the city from the county, it is very busy, especially out by Montgomery Central. Remember, school is back in session today, so be sure and look out for the school buses. Now, if you are headed to Nashville this morning, 24 looks good all the way into the Music City. Let's check in with Commander Chuck and see what lies ahead when you get there.
Well, good morning. It's just very slow out here now. You would expect 65 south, especially here at Trinity Lane, coming down from the north. It's also heavy coming in from the airport now on 40 westbound here at Spence Lane. Moving that earlier wreck on Ellington Parkway, where that was a little sluggish there, coming down from the top to the bottom. ICU Security, they specialize in surveillance camera installation and service. Check them out. It's ICUSecurityInc.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
It's been a look at your traffic and weather together and the latest national news, all brought to you this morning by Heritage Bank. It is 8:07. Today is the 3rd day of January. It is Wednesday, and that means, what does that mean, Chuck? It is Good Morning Clarksville. Good morning, Chuck Edwards. But what does Wednesday mean?
It is a Governor Wednesday as we start the new year off.
Hello,
right
governors.
on this Wednesday, the 3rd day of January. We have representatives from Austin Peay State University here to tell us everything that we ever want to know about governors. The new year for Austin Peay.
What's going on? What's happening?
That's right. And we'll be talking to them shortly. But anyway, we kick off hour number 2 here on Good Morning Clarksville with Chuck and John.
The world-famous 1400 WJZM time capsule. If you grew up listening to Jimmy in the Morning, you're going to love WJZM Clarksville. The big 1400 WJZM.
Yeah, the big 1400 WVWB, Chuck and John, and it is Governor Wednesday, and we're so glad to have Charles Booth and Dr. Jeff Rutter here with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
We're great. We're great. Yeah.
Y'all had a nice holiday?
Yeah, beautiful warm weather. Lots of sleeping in.
Yeah, okay, Charles. See, you've been around Persinger too long. You know, you're a smart aleck. Anyway, but yeah, this cold weather. You know, I mean, and all this snow. It's snowing. You know, we're looking at the Weather Channel, and what's the name? Bombogenesis. It's what this is called when the weather does what it does.
Oh, wow.
And it's snowing in Florida and all this stuff. But it's anyway close to. I'm sorry.
That's a new one. I've never heard that term.
Yeah, it is a weather term. Bombogenesis is what they said it is. So anyway, we'll go with that. So anyway, you all doing well. And Charles, are you in the marketing department?
Yes, I'm a assistant director of communication.
Okay. And so you work with Bill?
I work very closely with Bill.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm sorry.
Are you?
I hope he's listening right now.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Are you from Clarksville?
Yeah. I went to school here, Northeast High School. Went to Tennessee.
See, that's it. That Northeast connection. Because Persinger went to Northeast.
That's right. Yeah, we stick together.
Yeah, and
Northeast
have to look at. Yeah. What is it called? When you went to school at Northeast, he went to school at Northeast, and it's not you're a legend. You're a legacy.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but Dr. Rutter, Dr. Jeff Rutter is here. He is the Director of Counseling and Health Services. So what does that mean?
Well, I run a medical clinic and a counseling center and take care of the students.
On campus at Austin Peay.
Mm-hmm.
A medical clinic. And now the medical clinic is not necessarily for broken arms or, inflammation, things like that, is it?
We see people for a variety of acute problems, and it could be a broken arm. We'd probably call EMS or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
We have a treatment room, though, where we can suture up wounds and treat whatever we need to. I would say the thing we see the most would be upper respiratory infections, mental health concerns, depression, anxiety, things like that.
The idea of having and talking to people about mental health issues, it's not as in the closet as it used to be, is it?
No, it's not.
I mean, it's not. It's come out. I remember you think about things, they talk about codependency and they think about depression. And those things you didn't talk about those as openly as we do now.
That's true. We're going to dive right in there at 8:10 this morning, 8:15 this morning, aren't we? Let's go for it.
Well, okay, let me stop then.
No, you're right.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Hendersonville.
Okay.
Not far from here at all.
And so tell us how you took that circuitous route to get to Clarksville.
How I got to Clarksville and ended up talking about mental health so much in all aspects of my life.
This morning.
Yeah, I'm basically a human misery magnet at this point of my life.
I see.
Every problem that you can imagine, I've seen it. But yeah, back to your question, I grew up in Hendersonville and attended college at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville.
So where'd you go to school?
University of Tennessee, Knoxville.
See, there's something going on here, John. There's something going on here. I think there's a conspiracy. So did you get a lot of call-ins and write-ins, during this football season about Tennessee?
Well, I see people in my practice, and the Tennessee fans have the most disappointment. I think they have chronic
Deep
problems.
Disappointment.
That's right.
And it is chronic. You're right.
Deeply ingrained disappointment, yes. What can you do?
Yeah. So then after you get finished school at UT, then what?
After I became a psychologist back in the 90s, I went into the Air Force and served as a military psychologist.
Okay.
And
did you like that?
I would say it was an important job, and I felt valued, and I really thrived on the intensity of the work. It didn't really match my personality, though. I'm sort of I guess you'd say I was a poet wearing combat boots. It really didn't.
Talking about a Renaissance man.
It didn't really fit.
I love those Renaissance
fit
men.
my style in some ways.
Dress right dress was not your cup of tea.
That's right.
I can understand that. I can understand that.
But I served for 7 years and spent a lot of that time seeing people who had experienced trauma and learned a great deal about trauma and a variety of problems. And I learned a lot about leadership, and that indirectly got me to this position here at Austin Peay, where I spend 90% of my time managing and leading people, and really love that.
So the idea, though, to me, Dr. Rudder, it would seem like the Air Force gig would have broadened your practice, broadened your understanding of what you're dealing with, and gave you something else that you could fall back on.
Yeah, absolutely. In a couple of ways, really. You had to see whatever walked through the door. You were it, and so that broadened me clinically. But I was also promoted to be a clinic chief very early in my career, and learned how to lead and manage budgets and take care of people well ahead of my peers.
Yeah.
So it zoomed me to the front in terms of management and being responsible for more than just the clinic people.
So now you're director of counseling and health services at Austin Peay State University. You like it?
I do. It's very intense, and there are times when I feel like we're at the Alamo and we need more resources. But yeah, on good days, there's nothing better than being just what somebody needs at the right time, you know, and being able to tip the scale in the favor of good.
Yeah.
That there's nothing better.
It was seen, Dr. Rudder, that we're talking with Dr. Jeff Rudder. He's Director of Counseling and Health Services on campus at Austin Peay State University. After all, it is a Governor Wednesday here on the Big 1400, WVWV, so why we would have someone here from Austin Peay. He brought Charles Booth along with him, too. I don't know why, but anyway, I think they got this UT thing going on. But anyway, you know, Dr. Rudder, it was seen as though your experience in the Air Force for 7 years gives you extra insight into some of the non-traditional students at Austin Peay who are military and some of the things that they go through. Yes?
Yes, and we have a fair number of them.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Almost half of our population is beyond the traditional age of undergraduates. I think over 25 years old is the cutoff.
Yeah.
And quite a military population as well, yeah.
Yeah. So you all just moved into a new building?
We did, about a year or so ago. And it's called the ARD building. It was previously a Church of Christ Student Center, and we took $1 million and renovated it and developed it just for counseling and health services. So every part of the building is purpose designed for the students who need counseling and medical care. So it's very professional, very private. It's across the street from the main campus, so it has a little bit more privacy than other buildings. It's great. It feels really good.
Dr. Jeff Rudder is our guest with Charles Booth from Austin Peay State University. It is Governor Wednesday here on the Big 1400. We're going to talk about mindful meditation with Dr. Rudder after we take this break. Time now for a Sports Now update brought to you by Justin Swallows. No, brought to you by Fox's Barbecue with Justin Swallows on the Big 1400.
This Sports Now update is presented by Fox's Barbecue. They're serving slow-smoked premium meats at 521 Heritage Point Drive.
The University of Tennessee men's basketball squad is now in serious danger of falling out of the top 25 after losing to Auburn 94-84 last night in Knoxville. The 23rd ranked Vols were severely out-rebounded against the now 13-1 Tigers, giving up 22 offensive boards and allowing 28 second chance points in the loss. The win for Auburn marked Coach Bruce Pearl's first victory in Knoxville since his tenure as UT's head coach from 2005 to 2011. The Vols now get ready for an 8 p.m. p.m. Saturday night home bout with number 17, Kentucky. And there's good news today out of Austin Peay State University. For the 6th time in the last 7 weeks, the Governor's basketball squad has a player named among the Ohio Valley Conference's weekly best. Grambling transfer Avery Ugba is the OVC co-player and newcomer of the week after averaging a double-double, 19 points and 11 rebounds in conference opening wins over Southern Illinois, Edwardsville, and Eastern Illinois. This is the 3rd time this season that Ugba's been lauded by the league office. The Governors will be back at home and looking for their 3rd straight conference win tomorrow night at 6 o'clock against UT Martin. Lastly today, we bring you bad news from the Nashville Predators' Western road trip. The Preds fell 3-0 last night on the ice against the Western Conference leading Las Vegas Knights. They will continue their 3-game road swing tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock against the Arizona Coyotes. From the WVWB Sports Desk, this is Sports Now, and I'm Justin Swallows.
Voted the #1 veteran-owned barbecue restaurant in America, Fox's Barbecue is proud to serve the greater Clarksville community. They host the weekly Blues and Barbecue concert every Saturday night from 5 to 7 p.m. Whether you're hungry for chicken, ribs, pulled pork, or brisket, Fox's Barbecue is the right choice. They offer all-you-can-eat selections every Wednesday and Thursday night, as well as catering and delivery. Call them to cater your next event at 931-896-2678. Or better yet, go see them at 521 Heritage Point Drive, just off from Tiny Town Road.
The Big 1400 WVWB. Don't forget you have another Sports Now update with Justin Swallows coming your way at 9:20 this morning. Brought to you by Culver's of Clarksville, home of the butter buns. Is that right?
That's true.
It's home of the butter buns, the best hamburgers and the buns, of course. Here it is, Governor Wednesday, 19 degrees in downtown Clarksville. We're talking with Dr. Jeff Rutter. He is the Director of Counseling and Health Services at Austin Peay State University. They just moved into a new building right across the street. They're on College Street now. Is that right?
At the corner of College and University.
Yeah. So right when you're turning, right where that big AP thing is in the street, in the road.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're right across from that. So anyway, so some of the things that gentle yoga, mindful meditation, and therapeutic art, are these some things that you have incorporated into, for lack of a better word, your practice?
Yes, exactly. Gentle yoga is taking something that might be done for physical fitness and using it to help people with their mental fitness as well. The mental health problem we see the most is anxiety, and traditional treatments for anxiety involve talking, getting people to change their stinking thinking. In other words, try to turn off some of the what-if thoughts and really change things cognitively. But in the last 10 years, a lot of the research has pointed to the importance of the body in getting a person to resolve their anxiety or trauma.
Kind of like holistic?
Holistic, right. The whole person, not just the mind and the emotions, but also the body, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is this something that you decided to implement, Dr. Rutter?
Well, I would say that's my philosophy, a holistic one, and I'm wanting to go beyond the traditional medical model where you come over there and we give you a tablet and send you home. So yeah, that's pretty much my vision, is to really have a vibe that's a little bit more interesting and engaging.
You burn incense?
No, we
yeah,
just Yankee candles.
Yeah, Yankee candles.
Oh yeah,
I like that. That's some fragrant Yankee candles.
You know, seriously, essential oils are popular now. I don't know if you're into that, but those it's pretty amazing. You can take frankincense and put it in a diffuser, and breathing those fumes can help with indigestion. I've experienced that firsthand. Heartburn goes away in seconds just by inhaling that.
Yeah, and I have. I teach Bible classes on post, and I have some students who are into the oils.
Well, frankincense, who doesn't connect that with the story of Jesus, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. But they have an oil for everything. You know, I mean, you have a toothache. I got an oil. I mean, it's kind of like liquid acupuncture. You know, I got a pen for that. I got a needle for that. Let me stick you
I have some non-essential oils I need to get rid of at home. If anyone can help with that, some motor oil.
Use motor oil. Yeah, that's a problem.
It is interesting. Dr. Jeff Rutter, Director of Counseling Health Services at Austin Peay State University. You know, I think about we off mic during we're talking about how what you do, you want to lighten the air about it. You don't want people to be think that they're going to be pigeonholed or labeled or something because they come into your office. And so being able to offer them different things, different forms or different venues, platforms that they can use to get better, I think that's a plus.
Yeah, treatment really has to meet the student where he or she is at and not force them to do something they're uncomfortable with. And art is a big thing with students, art and therapy dogs. They're controversial, but if I mention a dog, I'm going to get the attention of a college student in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's a major part of our practice, but it's an example of how we're trying to think the way the student thinks and come over to their way of thinking rather than forcing them to come over to ours.
Why are we seeing that on the rise? Therapy dogs.
Well, I think the controversy that I'm aware of has to do with taking them on airplanes and using them as a way to get out of paying for another seat for a dog. But as far as seeing them on the rise for mental health reasons, I think it started with just the fact that it's comforting to be around animals. And I'm aware of one survey that found that animals were among the top 3 things that made people feel welcome in the world. And that's a pretty powerful statement, that if an animal can make you feel welcome, that's awesome.
Yeah, self-worth is one of those issues that I think all of us deal with in some shape or form, you know, because we've got all of these different standards that, you know, that whether we are conscious of it or unconscious, that we're measuring ourselves by. You know, like I always look at John Michael and say, man, when I grow up, I want to be handsome like John. And, I want to be intelligent, and I want to eat fufu and fofo and all this stuff. Falafel, and anyway. So, to me, the therapy dogs, it just seems like in the last 4 or 5 years, you're seeing more and more of them. And I know that people are always going to take advantage of anything that they can. So all the people that have therapy dogs don't need therapy dogs. It seems like it's in vogue. It is fashionable now to have a therapy dog.
Yeah, I suppose so. They're technically called emotional support animals. The therapy dogs are ones that are trained to do specific tasks. Mm-hmm. And when you see somebody carrying around just a pet or an emotional support animal, they haven't had any training. They're just being petted and loved on. There's a variety of roles they play, all the way from just carrying your pet around with you to all the way to the other end of the spectrum, having a highly trained service animal that's going to tell you when you're about to have a seizure. That's
isn't that amazing?
That's an animal that's been highly trained to do a very specific task, and we have animals doing all sorts of different things.
So do you prescribe that?
No, prescribing.
I mean, how does one go about getting a service animal? Do they go to the doctor? Excuse me, and the doctor puts them in charge of Service Animals USA or something, or you have to prescribe that for a person?
No, there are different foundations that support training animals and nonprofits that are specifically devoted to training, and they're expensive. They do require quite a bit of cash, but mm-hmm. there are agencies that specialize in getting the right animal to the right person that needs them.
So it
doesn't come through a doctor necessarily.
All right. So you don't necessarily recommend someone like, hey Charles, I think maybe a service animal might, an emotional, whatever you call it.
Emotional support animal.
Right.
Yeah, in my field, that's that's sort of cutting edge, new. It's not something that was a part of my training. So my toe is just in the pool, you know, in the shallow end at this point in that area.
Shallow end. You hear that? The shallow end.
I did.
You hear that? Dr. Rudder, where do you see, is it good to say psychology going? What's on the horizon? What new things are we seeing more and more of? What will we see? As you know, we just had 2017 go behind us. We're looking towards the new year.
Technology, in a word. That
darn computer.
That cuts both ways. On the plus side, virtual reality can help people deal with their phobias or something that would require very expensive treatment historically, like a plane phobia would require purchasing plane tickets and going up and being exposed to the feared stimulus. Well, you can do that in your office now with virtual reality. So that and neurofeedback, biofeedback, being able to see what's going on in the brain on a screen and help let's say a traumatized person with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, see how their brain lights up with certain stimuli and help them sort of down-regulate their brains in your office. So technology, it's reaching apps. Mental health apps are proliferating. There's a lot of good ones that are recommended by the VA. You can go online to the VA system, and there are tried and true, empirically tested mental health apps that you can download to your phone to help you with your conditions, most of which are used with a therapist, and they're a part of therapy. They're not a standalone type of thing. So technology has some pros and cons. I would say some of the cons have to do with the fact that just being with another human being sometimes...
like relationships?
Getting the milk of human kindness, there's no replacement for that.
True.
With technology.
True.
Relationships often are necessary, so technology isn't the cure-all.
Relationships are one thing. They are not defined as precise as they were 50 years ago today.
Relationships?
Yes.
Are not... I'm not following you.
Okay, you know, the family is not necessarily man, woman, 2.5 kids. A relationship, platonic, is not necessarily the girls hanging with the girls. Sometimes they're boys and girls are best friends. You know, then
I hear you.
So then there are different relationships as far as sexual relationships go. It's not necessarily, you know, male, female. You follow me?
Social norms have changed, and sexual norms and what's perceived as normal and okay. They've definitely changed.
Is it changed or evolved?
Well, back to my comment about technology, I think it cuts both ways. There are times when I feel kind of a sadness that this kind of freedom wasn't a thing when I was in college, and that I had more security and permission to explore. And so I like the fact that there is a sense of safety in the world now where people can explore relationships in different ways and sort of get out of the rule following aspect of it. But that, like I said, cuts both ways. I think sometimes people, I see a lot of people come to our clinic for sexually transmitted illnesses. That's on the rise. There are risks involved in having intimate relationships with somebody who's not safe, who gets in the bedroom and becomes a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So in some ways, I was spared all that by sexual norms that were a little slower back in my day and a little less open. So it's good and bad.
Yeah, it is. You know, you were talking about technology. Do you deal with a lot of PTSD?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You know, PTSD is fascinating. In Hollywood, it's portrayed as something that's very explicit and
you go to Iraq,
highly
and you come back home,
agitated,
and you got PTSD.
And right, you're seeing somebody who's dramatic and explosive.
And jump up under the table every time they hear a pop.
Throw plates.
And that could be very well some of that is true, but
that is not the heart of it. The heart of a traumatic stress injury or PTSD is the inability to be present. Just the
define that.
The inability to be fully in your body, aware of what's going on inside, in the moment with your partner, present. Eye contact, physical contact, stillness, being able to finish a thought, being able to listen. Those are all expressions of presence. And that's not easily portrayed on a screen for Hollywood. So Hollywood goes for the low-hanging fruit and sensationalizes it and makes it more dramatic. But really the essence of PTSD is a person that is constantly getting out of the present, going to the past, re-experiencing things that aren't happening now as if they were, and being able to have them slow down and settle in and be more in the moment is where you win that battle. So I'll have them in the room point out 3 things you can see, tell me 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can hear, and just ground their awareness in that room, in that space, and again, in a word, present, be present.
Is that something that we go through and we experience because of maybe we feel uncomfortable with being that close to someone?
Well, uncomfortable would be a pretty low level. I mean, life or death, fearing for your life intensity is often what turns this into a disorder. Just being so overwhelmed by your central nervous system, that fight or flight response that has nowhere to go. I'm trapped, or I'm in a life-threatening situation with this flood, and I can't get out, and it's only getting worse, etc. That may start with discomfort, but go into terror. And once it gets at that level, you go beyond that quick brain jolt of a fight or flight response, and then you start dumping things into the endocrine system in your bloodstream, and that's more permanent. Things are starting to be in your system for a lot longer, and then that inability to calm down is now not only in your brain, but in your bloodstream, and then starts to be in your muscles and muscle memory, and before you know it, you're processing reality in a different way. But yeah, discomfort would be at the lower end of the spectrum. We're talking real serious things like combat, rape, trauma, fear for death, being imminent.
Having Charles, having Dr. Rutter and his clinic on campus, this is something that I guess 10 years ago might not have been available on a college campus.
I think we had 10 years ago this was available, but I think we've kind of continued to evolve and expand. We offer, the new art building is a great example of that. This building, Dr. Rutter can correct me if I'm wrong, was sort of, once we purchased it and put the $1 million in, it was really designed for their needs. And, I recently had a flu shot there, and I got to see some of the exam rooms. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful building, beautiful lobby, beautiful rooms, comforting space. They offer what Unplugged at the Art, I believe, which is several different events for students, like the mindful meditation, the gentle yoga. So does
this take place in the building?
Yes, it does. We have a group room, all kinds of things offered there.
Yeah.
And so we'll invite you to come participate.
Right. John, what about us coming? You think we can come? No.
You have to wear yoga pants now.
Yeah. Right. Can't touch this.
Of course, I'm kidding.
Yeah. We got some. We got some from the, you know, from the 70s.
It's a good look.
Yeah, yeah. It's coming back. I'm proud. I'm holding on.
Jacket I can wear with it too.
That's right. Dr. Jeff Rutter is the director of counseling and health services. You were in Australia for how long?
4 years. Yeah.
How was that?
I had 2 job offers to teach psychology at a college in Georgia Southern University, and a college in Sydney, and I accepted the offer to go to Georgia, and came back, slept on it, literally had a dream where I felt like I was in the wrong place, and I called him up the next day and said, you know, I'm not feeling too comfortable. I'm going to decline your offer after all, and I took the offer in Australia, took my family there in 2008, and lived there for 4 years.
How was it?
Beautiful. Every beach is unique. Some would be craggy, some would have great snorkeling, some would just have beaches that went on for miles. Fascinating beaches.
Now, Australia, are they seasonal? Do they have winter and summer and all that?
Winter, which is their June, July, is pretty mild, and so a lot of the homes are not equipped for it, and it may get down into, in the Fahrenheit terms, maybe the 50s, upper 40s.
Rough.
And to be in a...
That's rough, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't sound too rough, but when you've got a house that really doesn't have forced heat or anything that's not built that way, we froze our tails off. So a lot of space heaters and things, and I think newer homes there are probably equipped better than the older ones. But their winters are, to be honest, very mild.
Yeah. Have you been back since you left?
Good question. No, I haven't. My daughter became a citizen and stayed back. She's now a math teacher there in Sydney, and she comes back every year. We've got her home now.
Oh.
It's just so expensive to fly. It's easier for us to fly her back.
And it's 27 hours.
From L.A. to Sydney is about a 14-hour flight.
But you got to get to L.A. That's 3 hours.
Then you add that.
Yeah, you know.
3 or more, yeah.
But I remember because somebody told me, say, yeah, make sure you take shoes you can take off on the plane, and make sure you take some Dramamine or something, whatever it is, to relax you.
Australia is an awesome place. There are only about 20 million people in the whole country, so it has a smaller feel, obviously, than America, and that's reflected when you watch TV. It looks like something that was produced locally, and presidential debates or for the prime minister in that country look like small productions. They don't have big following of Secret Service agents that cost $30,000 every time they go golfing. There's just a small town feel, if you will, to the whole country, just because of the scale. It's fascinating.
I've always New Zealand and Australia. I have a friend who would go to New Zealand to go biking, and he was talking about how beautiful and the landscaping and
it is.
And then we saw what was the movie? A lot of the Hobbit movies.
Lord of the Rings.
Right. That was filmed in New Zealand, I think, in Australia. And,
in New Zealand, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was something. So how far is New Zealand from?
I flew there once. From Sydney to Auckland is a 3-hour flight. So it's about the same distance from here to L.A. Yeah.
So, Charles, tell us, we got basketball tonight?
Yes, we have basketball tonight.
Women's basketball.
I believe we're playing UT Martin.
Yeah.
Tonight, a tip-off is at 7 p.m. in the Dunn Center.
And then the men play tomorrow.
That's right. Tomorrow,
6 p.m.
If tomorrow's Thursday, I've got my weeks all mixed up with the holiday.
I know. Everything's crazy.
Yeah, it's men's basketball also. They also take on UT Martin at 6 p.m. tomorrow.
Yeah. And then Saturday, a doubleheader.
Yeah, doubleheader.
SEMO.
Yep. Southeast Missouri, 4:30 the women play, followed by the men at 7 p.m. So it's we were talking about the sadness of UT fans earlier, Tennessee fans having a bad year. So as a former volunteer, I want to tell everybody this is the perfect time to be an Austin Peay fan. We got, the football team's doing great.
Right.
Women's volleyball. So in basketball is an exciting time.
Yep. And Coach Figures, he told us when he was on the show, he said, I want you to fill those stands and I want you to come mad. I want you to be angry in the stands. So, he wants that mindset that he brings to the UT. So that is women's basketball tonight. Tip-off at 7 at the Dunn Center to men. Tomorrow, men's basketball, they take on UT Martin, 6 p.m. tip-off. Saturday is a doubleheader. It starts at 4:30. SEMO is in town as the Governors will match up. Thanks, Dr. Rutter.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.
It's good
It's
to
a very
meet you.
nice meeting you. Hope you'll be able to come back sometime. Maybe. And thank you, Charles.
Oh, thank you.
Nice meeting you.
This was really fun.
Yeah, it was interesting. Never a dull moment. I got to think of how we can lighten this up so much. Next time, John will bring some of his incense, and we'll burn some incense.
All right, I'll bring my kazoo.
Yeah, and your kazoo? Yeah. But I never did get a chance to talk about you and motorcycles.
Next time.
But you do like motorcycles? Are you're an avid rider?
Mm-hmm.
A frequent rider?
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend, and he told me, I said, well, my son is talking about getting something, the fastest Yazoo or whatever, I don't know what the motorcycle is called. But it was the fastest out the showroom motorcycle that they make. And I said, well, he said, well, I've been riding for over 30 years, and you got to ask yourself one thing. He says, if you're ever going to buy a motorcycle, you ask yourself one thing. What are you going to do after you lay it down? Because you will lay it down. And you have to decide what are you going to do after you lay that motorcycle down. And so I thought about that, and I said, yeah, I guess that's why I don't have one, because I don't know what I would do. You're either going to fix it or you're going to get off, or get a new one. But, what are you going to do? But anyway, Dr. Jeff Rutter, Director of Counseling and Health Services at Austin Peay State University, and Charles Booth, who is in the marketing department at Austin Peay. Thank you all very much for being here with us. This is the Big 1400, WVWB.
The new year is upon us, and we've made it through the holiday season. Now it's time to stop dreaming of candy canes and sugar plums and think more practically. It's time for a new set of tires, and the place to get them is Hell Yeah Tires at the corner of Greenwood and Crossland Avenue in Clarksville. They have the area's largest selection of new and used tires, and they'll guarantee you the best deal in town. Head on down to Hell Yeah Tires at 702 Greenwood Avenue, or give them a call at 931-552-1403.
For real estate services, Byers & Harvey can do it all. Real estate sales, rentals, property management, commercial and residential development. Byers & Harvey is Clarksville's oldest independent real estate company and has given continuous service since 1878. Byers & Harvey have 3 locations to serve you: in North Clarksville, in the heart of downtown, and at Sango. For more information and listings, visit them online at byersandharvey.com. byersandharvey.com. Byers & Harvey, Clarksville's real estate company.
When you play the new multiplier instant games from the Tennessee Lottery, there's a chance you could win more cash than you expected. In fact, with multiplier games, you could turn $1,000 into $10,000, $5,000 into $250 grand, or you could even turn $10,000 into a whopping $2 million. So pick up a multiplier instant game today, and you could just watch the cash fall into place. Multiplier games, new from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Just remember to play responsibly. America, the home of fun-seeking adventurers.
America, it's fun as it can be.
And they all like draw games.
America, it's a game for you and me.
But wait till they get a load of Lotto America. With tickets just $1, drawings twice a week, and jackpots starting at $2 million. It's Lotto America from the Tennessee Lottery.
Hey, are you stressed out about a receding hairline or tired of daily watching handfuls of hair float down the drain? Eliminate hair loss and grow brand new hair with the all-new Vermax Scalp Enrichment Shampoo and Hair Restoration Tonic. Over-the-counter shampoos are damaging your scalp and causing hair loss with harsh detergents. Vermax offers natural, botanically based solutions to clean your scalp, prevent hair loss, open up pores, and reestablish hair follicles. Don't be bald. Call Vermax today at 888-601-7600. 888-601-7864 to get that lush, healthy head of hair you've always wanted. Again, the number to call, 888-601-7864. Eliminate hair loss with Vermax Scalp Enrichment Shampoo and Hair Restoration Tonic. Call 888-601-7864 now. That's right, call 888-601-7864 now.
Moore's Office Supply is Clarksville's office supply and furniture experts. For office equipment, desks, chairs, and more, depend on Moore's Office Supply. Located on Franklin Street across from the Catholic Church, Moore's has been your business partner for office supplies in the Clarksville-Fort Campbell area for years. Call Moore's at 645-7200. That's 645-7200. And we'll deliver it for free. Moore's Office Supplies, Clarksville's office supply headquarters.
Ever lost or misplaced your debit card?
Now, before that happens, download the Card Valet mobile app.
With it, you can turn your F&M debit card on and off, establish when, where, and how it is used, and much more.
And best of all, it's free from F&M Bank.
Member FDIC.
Was your New Year's resolution to lose weight, but you haven't been able to accomplish this? Then come to the Doctor's Diet Program at 231 Dover Road. They're open Tuesdays and Saturdays from 11:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Doctor's supervised weight loss can be achieved by following the simple diet plan. Whether you want to lose 10 pounds or 100 pounds, the Doctor's Diet Program can help. Call them today at 931-906-5555. That's 931-906-5555.
We've got you covered every step of the way. That's what they do at Clarksville Floor Covering. Carpet, hardwood, tile, laminate, vinyl, and area rugs are what they specialize in. Visit Clarksville Floor Covering and let their on-staff interior designer put it all together to give you the look you want. Locally owned and operated since 1961, Clarksville Floor Covering is conveniently located at 606 North Spring Street, behind Sonic off Riverside Drive. Visit their website at clarksvillefloor-covering.com and be sure to check them out on Facebook.
For you, 14 JZM.
The big 1400 WVWB, it is 21 degrees at 8:55 in downtown Clarksville, expecting a high today of 32. You know, I was reading an article, and lightning strikes, or lightning deaths rather, were at an all-time record low last year. Did you know that?
No.
According to the National Weather Service, only 16 Americans died from lightning strikes. That the previous low was 23 back in 2013.
You know what? We need to thank our president for that.
I was wondering, he had something to do with no major plane crashes
and
lightning. Man, he is something else. Yeah. You're right.
He's doing a great job.
It's wonderful.
Man, that's big.
It's good. So time now for the good news here on the Big 1400 for this Governor Wednesday.
I'm getting a call from the president again.
Oh,
it's not good news.
No, not good news. No, we're not getting it. So, the Humane Society in Oshkosh, Wisconsin recently ended up with a dog, a cat, and a pet rat after their owner couldn't take care of them anymore. And they were all extremely bonded to each other.
Oh.
The dog's name is Sasha. Looks like some sort of terrier mix. The cat is a black and white, and its name is Jack. And the rat's name is Tweaks. It's your run-of-the-mill cat like you'd see in a run-of-the-mill rat, rather, like you'd see in a New York subway, but with black fur. The original owner told the workers they should all stay together if possible, and they weren't lying. As soon as they put them in different rooms, the cat got really depressed. So they decided to put the cat back in the same room with the dog, and it perked up.
Wow.
Then they put the rat in with them, and it seemed even happier. They started calling them the Rat Pack.
Oh.
And they let them all stay together while they looked for someone to adopt all three of them. Obviously, most people don't come in looking for a dog and a cat, and if you tack a rat onto the dog and the cat, odds drop significantly. But a woman came in with her daughter and said she'd take the dog and the cat. They didn't want the rat at first, but once they saw how bonded they were together, they decided to take him too. So they all
It's a great
went
story.
home.
You know, it sounds like a Dr. Seuss story.
Well,
the cat,
the pet,
and the dog, and the rat in the hat.
Yeah.
But that's just
no.
what it
It's
does.
the cat in the hat. It's the cat in the hat. No, that's Chick-fil-A. Yeah. Well, we talked with Dr. Rutter, and he was talking about animal.
Yes.
John, old MacDonald John, go back to the menagerie. Take the menagerie back.
I like great stories like that one, though. The cat and the dog and the rat in the hat.
The Rat Pack.
That's right.
The Big 1400.
Get 'em all.
WVWV. It is a Wednesday, the 3rd day of January. John and I thank you for being with us on Good Morning Clarksville today. Hopefully we'll get together again tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my